Alright, what's going on? Thanks for watching this episode with Diego Moyano. I caught up with him in DC at the Citi Open, and because I'm not very good with my computer, it took me this long to get the interview off of my phone onto my computer and to edit it. Diego, I'm sorry it took so long, man. Thank you for talking to me, though, and for all the insights that you gave me. For you guys who don't know, Diego is the head of USTA Player Development. He was working with Eubanks and Tommy Paul, and Stefan Kozlov, and other guys at the Citi Open when I talked to him. And you know, he works with basically all the American guys, so he's got all the knowledge about what's going on in the game. And we talked about it. As for me, I'm in Cairns, Australia. Lost first round yesterday. Tough L. First tournament in 18 months healthy. So it's a step in the right direction, at least playing again. I just got done with practice with my roommate Dusty. He's standing back there, you can't see him. But thanks for watching, and obviously if you like it, if you can share it and send it to somebody who you think needs to hear a conversation with Diego and hear his take on the game and how he thinks about developing good junior players into good pro players. Share it with them. Get in touch with me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whichever way you want to do it. And as always, big thanks to Gun and Vitalite for keeping me fresh and healthy on the road. So thanks for watching, and tune in next week for another episode.
So, like in my head, a little bit the development kind of stop at between 23-25. The rest is more result oriented. The first point of the philosophy in my head, our philosophy is you always improve, right? You always work, but the pure development is until 23-25. The rest is more, you are already developed. Right. Now is more understanding the game, result oriented, and this and that. So that's why most of the time the focus is on the young guys, because it's where they need more the development in terms of technique, the tactical aspect, the body development, and everything.
Yeah. What do you think makes the difference between a guy like Query and maybe like Tommy Paul, right? Where like he's older, but if you just saw them hitting, you were just some random person. You think they're very similar. What do you think makes a big difference between those kind of guys?
The experience, first, their maturity. So you have a guy more mature, understanding, much more experienced, more established on the tour, understand how the tour works, how his game is, what he needs to be successful. And the other kid is, he's a great athlete, but need to figure out a lot of things. He doesn't understand yet how the circuit works. He doesn't understand how much he has to work to get it done. Yeah. And that's a question of incertitude. He doesn't know what is coming, what he needs to do. Right. So how much? So that's coming with experience and matches and tournament. So that's a little bit the difference. The difference is not on the strokes. It's more on how you handle your career.
Really? Right? So you think that guys are generally hitting the same ball, they have the same ability, they're all fast, but there's something in the head?
I'm not saying every guy. Right. But a lot of guys, they have. Obviously, for example, you mentioned Sam Querrey or Jackson or Steve Jones. Obviously, they have some qualities. That's why they're on the first tier. Yeah. So that's obviously they have something else. But if you take a bunch of players, even outside the 100, you will see that they're pretty good. Right. But a lot of young upcoming guys, they don't know how to handle different situations yet, and that's why they don't have enough confidence on the big points or to win certain matches that could turn around their career until they get more mature, they understand a little bit more experience, and from there they.
Right. And so speaking about the levels, how do you, right? I've noticed in my own career, right? But up here it happens the same. When you run into someone who's your equal, where your forehand is no longer big, your serve is no longer a weapon, how do you go about winning the 50-50 matchup that happens on the daily out here?
Yeah, well, the match, those 50-50 like you call, you play it out in 7 points or 8 points, no more.
You're saying that's the difference of a 50-50 matchup,
Yeah.
7, 8 points. Yeah.
7 maximum.
Right.
It could be 4 or 5
Right.
points. Those 4 or 5 points, I don't believe in luck.
No.
You're not lucky. Somebody's not lucky.
No.
It happened that
Especially here.
well, somebody knows or somebody played out those points and he was a little better on those points, and there's always a why. And that's my philosophy. There's always a why the other guy. The tennis is a sport of action and reaction, like every other sport. But we're talking about an individual sport like the boxing.
Right.
So everything that you do or everything that you do on this side has a reaction
Over there.
on the other side,
Yeah.
and vice versa. So everything that the other guy does, it has a reaction on you on this side. So if you are proactive and you can hurt your opponent first and choose the right play first and place the right ball first, then it's either the other guy can get it back because he an unbelievable defense, or you win the point.
Right.
Something like that. So those are the points. Physically, really in the best shape possible. Understand your game at 1,000%, and mentally in a great mindset to play every match.
But how do you actually build the consistent mindset?
You have to build habits,
Yeah.
and everything starts in practice. Everything starts on the practice court, on and off. So you build up habits. I like to give space to the players. I like the players to have their own personality, but at the same time they have to improve. We're talking about the young guys. The older guys, they have already their routines.
Yeah.
They already have their habits on the practice court, on and off the court. So when they come to a tournament, they have their own routines. They know what they need to be. They know what time they need to go to bed, the warm up and everything. So they're more established on those routines.
Right.
So that doesn't guarantee you to perform at the best level, but it gives you a good idea of where you're gonna be.
And how is it for you working with like the group of young guys rather than just being with one guy only and only that guy? You know, if you've got a balance like Kudla and TFO and Paul and Kozlov and all these guys, are you trying to get them to all sort of think the same way? Like there's a general way that works?
No. There's no general way.
Right.
Everybody has their own game, their own path, their own way to think,
Yeah.
and you need to adapt. And you need to, as a coach, that's the big challenge. It's all about the players. So you need to know, and that's why you prepare yourself to be the best coach that you can be. It doesn't come like that. I mean, you have to be prepared because you need to coach every single player completely different,
Right.
and you need to know how you go about with the different players in terms of technical aspect, tactical aspect, their career, their personality, how you talk with the player, what the
Yeah.
feedback, how much you want, how much structure you want to put, or how much room you want
Yeah.
to get to
Give
have.
them, yeah.
So that's very important. One thing is having coaching a lot of guys and being around a lot of guys, but you never has to make that mistake of coaching the same way, because it's all
Right.
about the players. It's not about the coaching, it's about the player.
Yeah. With guys at this level, are you more going out on the court, on a match court, playing your strength? So your best shot, wherever that's going to be landing, or more to the opponent's weakness? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, no, totally. It's a good question, a very good question. I believe the more you have to get out of your comfort zone of your pattern, I mean, less chances to win the match you have. On the
Right.
top level, you see the guys, the strengths are so good
Right.
that they can go about. The first thing that they think is, I'm gonna go with my strength. And then the tactical aspect is very important. But if your strength they don't work, it's very difficult to get away
Right,
from that.
right.
So you gotta go. Your plan A is going with your strength, and then the plan B is, okay, now my strengths are on point. I'm playing great. I'm hitting the ball where I want. Now let's place it more. For example, the first shot. If I hit that first shot to the guy's weakness, now I probably have another good shot to finish the point. If I hit to the guy's strength, maybe I'm gonna have to run, and I don't have, or maybe I need to play 10 more shots to have a decent chance again.
Right.
So those things are important. But to go right to your question is, first, your strength. I mean, you have to develop the weapons. The top guys, all the top guys, they have really big weapons.
Sure.
And then from there, the second is place it to the guys' weakness as much as you can.
Right. What kind of traits do you think would like the ideal athlete have? If you could draw up an athlete, what are the first 3 or 4 things that come to your head that he would be like this?
Well, a lot of confidence. I think that's huge. When you see the top guys in every sport, not only in tennis, but they have that extra confidence. Everybody's seeing the guy or the girl playing bad or not at his best, and they see their serve perfect.
Right.
So that extra confidence helps.
Yeah.
When you see from the outside that, oh, this guy is not playing great, and the athlete is seeing himself great. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna make it.
No,
I'm gonna
I'm
do
good.
it.
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm perfect.
Yeah.
And he or she goes to the field and shows that they can perform.
Yeah.
So that extra, I would say, that extra confidence is not everybody has that extra confidence.
And you can't really teach it.
No.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those things that you can't
come up with.
No. As a coach, you know that you can produce, you can help a player a certain level. After that, you can still help, but it's the player. There are certain things that you don't teach.
Right.
You don't teach.
And what about the ideal coach?
The ideal coach, patient, good listener. So the guy has to be able to understand the player or the athlete. Has the patience to set up a plan. Process oriented. Cannot be result oriented. Already the players or the athletes are usually result oriented.
Yeah.
The coach has to be clear mind on the process.
Right.
So understand, good on planning.
Okay.
I do think that, for example, to express the message, I think that's something that the coach could have, but also the coach will have with experience. I think that's something that every coach is getting with experience.
To do what?
How you
can you
send the
show
message?
the player
Can you share your message?
Yeah.
The way that you share.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about coach adapt to every player differently.
Right.
Or coach, that thing is coming with experience as well. You could have it from the beginning, or you could struggle in the beginning, but then you get it later on in your career. Is something. The other stuff, good listener, be patient, process oriented, is a must for a coach.
Yeah. You traveled the world, you played at a high level. Now as a coach, how do you blend the different cultures of tennis into your style, right? You know that the French guys play a certain way, a little more flair, Spanish guys.
That's a good question, because I personally, I always, when they ask me the question of who I am as a coach, I was born in Argentina and play until 14 years old in Argentina, and then I moved to France and I lived there for almost 16 years, so 15 years and a little bit more. And then I moved back to Argentina, playing the circuit and everything. And then I'm living here in the US for the last 10 years. So my plan is the Argentinian Spanish culture plus what they have, the footwork, how they move, the understanding of how they connect the offense and defense, and the long points, and the rallies, how they get the different heights and playing off the court, plus how technical are the French guys. I mean, in every the soccer school, the tennis school, you see the French guys, they're all really technical. So you learn to value much more the technical aspect of the sport in France, or at least for me. And then here in US, you have that aggressive mentality of for example, how important is the serve,
Right.
because you coming from the quarterbacks on American football, you're coming from the baseball, where one throw can be the game. So that's an aggressive mentality of one shot or one play is here, and here, and that's it.
Right.
There's no more. It has to be accurate. And you see in other sport, American sport, like for example the American football, when I love to watch the videos of games or talking when the coaches talk, and it's a play that has to be perfect in offense and in defense.
Right.
So if it's done perfect, it's a touchdown.
Right.
If not, you get maybe sub or whatever.
Yeah.
And the baseball, same thing. You play there, the ball has to go there, and then that goes there.
That's true.
So it's a 2-3 shot, and that's done. So that's the aggressive mindset of the American great athletes, and the powerful serve and powerful game.
And a clear a plan.
On shore, because you're coming from, for example, the Spanish or Argentinian culture to the American culture is completely different. One is connecting the game and trying to play longer points, and because the soccer is like that, because all the sport on you see the rugby, the soccer, everything is connecting, offense, defense, everything mixed up. It's a blend of everything. You're in offense, and then suddenly you have to back up and keep but the ball is still on play. Here you have a different sport, different mentality. So you have the offense, pump, and you have the defense, and separate.
Right.
So the challenge is how to connect that here, and in the other culture, the challenge is how to get your players think about 1-2 shots.
Right.
So it's a blend of that, and I love that.
That's wild. I would never have thought about that.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting. It's very interesting to
different countries play the different sports very similar.
Well, the cultures, yes, because they come in or they see you are born a different way.
Yeah.
For example, you say, the English they're coming from. They have the soccer as well, and they play different than the Spanish. Yeah, but in England, because the weather, they play a lot indoors or on grass. So they cannot play the same way.
Right.
In Argentina, you don't find one hard court. So it's everything on clay with ball like that, and you have the summer, but then you have the winter, and you have the autumn, and you have all the stations, and it's windy or cold, or so with the ball like that and very slow. So why they play so far back and they never come to an end? Well, I can give you the exactly response, the reason, and so it's very interesting. So my philosophy, my way to coach is a blend of all those three cultures that I've been living for a while.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And do you have a favorite memory as a player, like one match from your career that meant anything to you, that you think, if I think of my playing career, I think this one match?
Well, I have a couple. I have a couple on my career. I mean, I would say one of the best memory was the French Open when I qualified, beating. The story is Olivier Delettres. He was 100 in the world and number 3 in doubles. Davis Cup champion the year before, and he got in a fight with the federation, so he didn't accept the wildcard at the French Open. And I went through the qualis, the last round in qualis, I played him, and we played on back on the days was the court 10, it was big stands and big court, and it was completely full, and everybody was like, they were playing like a former Davis Cup champion like a couple months ago, So everybody was yelling at every point. It was a Davis Cup like ambience there. Yeah, it was awesome. And I beat him like 7-5, 4-6, 7-5, and I qualified for my first Grand Slam. So it was like really cool memory for me because it was a Grand Slam. The player that I just beat, and the atmosphere and on the court was like really awesome.
Yeah. What do you think is the value of sports?
The value in life.
Yeah. Why play sports? Why do it?
I do think that it's great. The first thing is that, for example, when I talk with parents, why you have to support your kid to play any sport or an individual sport. But let's talk about the tennis. The first thing that I'm gonna say is the problem solving. So everything that to be a tennis player, you're gonna problem solve all the time. You have to be a master of problem solving because you have problems every time. You travel by yourself. You have flights, hotels, food, training, everything, and you have to solve all the problems by yourself because you are alone. So all the time. So one thing, problem solving. You have to be problem solving on the court as well. Right. You are the only one. You can have a huge team, but the team is completely outside the court. Yeah. So you are the one calling,
trying to figure
out the match, calling the play, and everything. So that's one. The problem solving, the resilience. So nobody goes out there and wins everything. No, it doesn't exist. So you gotta be resilient and try different things and try to figure it out and go back and you lose and you come back and you practice the next day and you try to figure it out so that's the second thing. I mean, problem solving, resilient. I would say discipline. So you try to play the tournament in Florida and go for lunch and you don't eat good. Yeah. You cannot finish the practice or the match. You need to be in a perfect shape. You're gonna be eating good, sleeping well. Right. So otherwise you're not performing. So the discipline is huge for practice. The pre-match routine, the post-match routine, the strength conditioning, the stretching, the physio work, the injury prevention. All those things has to be done at a perfect fit on your day. So that's I can keep going, but I'm gonna give you those three. I think the sport has a great value on everybody's life. Yeah.
You know that quote at Wimbledon above center court where it says, "You can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same."
Yeah.
Do you think that would ever be possible? Do you think you could ever treat winning and losing the same, or no?
It's tough. I think winning and losing, you're never gonna treat the same, but you can learn how to get the benefit from both.
Okay.
That would be my question. No, you never.
You can't treat them the same.
No, you cannot treat them the same.
Because then you wouldn't play.
But yes, you can. What that means, in my opinion, or how I see it, is you're not treated the same, but you get the benefit from both.
You're still
when you
from
lose,
both.
you learn a lot, and when you winning, well, you get the benefit from winning. So both sides, you can see a lot of benefit from both sides.
Yeah. Man, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for your time. I appreciate getting to mix it up with you and hear what you think and what you're doing. It's awesome.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to talk and share. Like I said, share with
it's
you.
Cool. That's the cool thing about tennis. You know, it's usually everybody's pretty cool. Everybody.
Well, try. I mean,
not everybody.
I think we should. I think
it should be open.
I think it's exactly.
So worldwide.
We should be open.
Yeah. It's interesting. All right, so that'll do it for my conversation with Diego. As you can see, here's the view from my patio in Australia. If you look online on the ITF website, you can see the futures that I'm playing. It's a string of 4 futures, and then I'm going to play 2 challengers at the end. If you want to look at the draws and see if there's anybody you want to hear from in particular, just shoot me a message on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or whatever way you want to get in touch with me. Comment on this video who you want to hear from, and I'll get in touch with them. If there's anything you want to see about training or working out while you're on the road, all that kind of stuff, just let me know, and I'll be happy to bring it to you. So thanks for watching, and as always, if you could share it with anybody who you think should hear that conversation with Diego, that'd be great. Thanks a lot.